I do like it. Whether anything any good comes out of it, I've yet to see, but you're producing exactly the same as what you had in the original place,
Yeah.
a son and a daughter, genetically wise. This is the cock she paired to. Again, another Jerome Callan's pigeon, direct from his loft, which was bought at the same time as that hen.
Through Wiggly and Miller of
Wrigley
Rugeley.
at Rugeley. And they've got a whole family of these Jerome Callans there.
And these go back to the Santons pigeons, do they?
They've got Santons in them, but they've also got a lot of Jansons,
Yeah.
the old Voss pigeons.
Right. So this is the father of the good young one that went to Stafford and won the North Staff State.
That's right, yeah.
And he's the father of my two young ones. They've
Well,
both been first of the lot.
They're the parents of one of my best racers, a pigeon called Stalwart Alalon. And this year he actually went to 560 miles and was timed on at 7 o'clock in the morning. So there was only about 80 pigeons on the night time. But here, at that time that they should have been here, it was as black as anything and it was raining, the clouds come out. So I actually think it stopped him from coming on the day. It might not have done, but...
So he's the sire of the Santese winner of 1990 in the club.
The Saints winner, yeah, that's right.
And
The grandsire of this year's
the
one.
grandsire of the Santese winner this year.
That's right.
And that's 500 miles, just short.
Just about 6 or 7 miles short, I think.
And that's flying, I think it was 12 3/4 hours on the day for the 1990 pigeon.
Yeah, and 12 hours 40 minutes this year. And it was the only bird on the day this year in this town at any of the 500 mile races.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're flying almost 13 hours on the day,
That's right, yeah.
these pigeons. Well, let's have a look at his eye then, Nick.
They have one sprinting as well. I mean, they have one in the clubs, but I mean, I don't put any emphasis on that. Yeah.
Well, another really good eye, full circle yellow eye, I would say. Obviously a breeding eye. Pigeons getting the 500 miles as well as winning inland. So, regardless of eye, it's one I'd certainly put in the stock pen. And the wing. Only a small step, perhaps not characteristic of 500 milers, but it's certainly got the stamina and guts, so it passes them on to its offspring. And these, no doubt about it, these win at 500 miles and they win at 70 miles as well. They win all the way through. Tremendous pair of pigeons.
There's another good cock. Probably the best in the loft when the stock pigeons go.
You rate this one the best that you've got then,
This
Nick?
is the best I've got, and money couldn't buy this pigeon now. I wouldn't sell him for any amount of money.
And which one is this then?
Not a rich man. This is the Van der Weggen that we spoke about earlier on in the video, that I bought from Blackpool, which is a Ponderosa pigeon. And he's an 87 pigeon, but he was a very, very late bred. And when I actually bought him, he got 10 nest flights. And I couldn't pair him up until April. He wouldn't even look at an egg.
And has he bred you winners?
He's bred me loads and loads of winners. Not every nest is a winner. Quite often lose them in the first young bird race. But not all of them, obviously. But he's bred me distance winners as well as pigeons that do reasonably well short in the club.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's supposed to be a 700 miler, so
And this is a Van der Weggen
Van der
strain, is
Weggen,
it?
that's right. The shifter, I believe, which Ponderosa have re-exported to Holland. So they obviously think quite a lot of that pigeon.
They found they were doing well and put them back in Holland, have
That's
they?
right.
Well, again, he's not a big pigeon, Mick. He's only
No.
medium
It's
size,
medium size, isn't he? Yeah.
fairly long cast. Again, longish flights, perhaps a bigger step than the other
Yeah.
Kellen's pair, and a short back wing again.
All got the same type of feathers though, silky, if you notice.
Nice silky feathers and good long pectoral muscles.
Yeah. Of course, they're not at the best at the moment. They're towards the end of the molt and they're feeding around the youngsters, so they might look a bit tatty.
Yes, indeed, but another really good rich eye.
It's a very colourful eye on that one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, excellent breeding eye.
And he's never been out the loft, he hasn't. Don't let him out, it's too bad enough.
Yeah, a really rich, colourful eye. Obviously breeding eye. Plenty of colour there. We'll pass this on to his offspring. Bred so many winners anyway that this is the sort of pigeon that you're looking for to breed your distance winners. It's already produced some tremendous birds for me.
On day 500 milers as yearlings as well, yeah.
These have flown 500 miles on the day as yearlings even.
We'll have a look at a few of your channel winners if we may, Mick. I know there are quite a few in here.
Yeah, plenty to choose from.
Shall we start with the good blue pie cock?
Yeah, this
one of you.
This is the one I consider to be my best racer. It's a Jerome Callum's breeding off that golden pair as we showed earlier. He's one that cost £25, which I think is money well spent.
So he won inland, did he? He won
from Wincanton, Dorchester. Then he went on to win at Nantes, and then he won the Saints race last year, and he was 10th North Midlands Amalgamation, which is a combination of 4 different feds, all liberated simultaneously.
So 12 3/4 hours on the wing, was he, from Saints?
That's right, yeah.
And 5th fed, was that right, 1990?
That's right, yeah.
604 birds, Derby and Merton.
But as a youngster, he went to Plymouth twice. He didn't have it easy as a yearling because he was supposedly a sprinter. I put him through his paces. He did 2,500 miles flying as a yearling. He repeated that again as a 2-year-old. And this year, he's been to 4 channel races. He was 3rd Wrens in the club. There was only 7 pigeons on the day, a really stiff race, 11 hours on the wing. And he was high up in the fed and high up in the amalgamation. Then he went to, no, 3 channel races this year, I'm sorry. Then he went to the Midland National Nantes, which was a bit of a blow home, but it was my 2nd pigeon and he scored about 120th, 10th or 11th section,
yeah,
which is 400 miles. And then he went to Livorno this year as my spot pigeon, a pigeon I expected to sit there and wait for. But as I said earlier, I think the black clouds and the rain stopped him. But he was here at 7 o'clock in the morning and he finished again about 120th, 10th section, which isn't bad. But he's had 1 or 2 hard races where he's had to struggle in, because he can. Again, and there was very, very silky pigeon.
Oh yeah.
More silky than anything, I think.
Lovely feather, Mick. Lovely feather. Again, a medium to small pigeon.
His name's Stalwart Alalon.
It's well, obviously off the good Kellen's pair. I mean, the eye is, well, an exact cross between them. It's got both his father's and mother's colouring in the eye. Yeah, lovely silky feather. 1 or 2 fret marks, and again, very short back wing. You can see all the stamps that he's had on for his different national races. I think this has got the best feather of any pigeon I've handled of yours, Mick.
Yeah, quite a lot. Well,
better than
when
the
he's
parents.
right, he slips out your hand.
Yeah, yes indeed.
And he's a beautiful looking pigeon.
Tremendous bird, a 1988 pigeon.
That's right.
And must have flown, what, nearly 7,000 miles
I should
by
think
now
so, yeah.
in his life?
And he's quite a young pigeon, really.
Yeah.
One of his young son, as a Saints with this year, he was 150th Sartilla Youngbird National last year.
So he's breeding them as well as racing?
That's right, it was 3rd section, the same pigeon, and there was only 560 pigeons out of 10,000 pigeons in race time. And he was 10.5 hours on the wing, this young pigeon.
Tremendous bird, Mick.
I've actually got him paired to a good stock hen here. She's actually flying out, but she's a Belgian rump pigeon, and she's an Alphonse Bowens.
Ah yes, you were telling me that you bought a few of these Alphonse Bowens from an auction sale at
That's right.
Penkridge.
I bought 5 of them, I think it was. When I got there, it was Tony Cowins, the auctioneer, and he said, they're like peas in a pod. Buy one, you buy them all. So I bought 5 of the cheapest, and they all proved to be pretty handy pigeons. This one is a nice medium to small pigeon, got a totally different eye to anything I've got here. But children I've timed them in from 500 miles on the day as yearlings. The only pigeon I sent to Bordeaux this year was her son, and they're scoring in the nationals as well.
So an Alphonse Bowen hen?
Yeah, direct,
Yeah.
from the man himself. Same pigeons that Jeff Kirkland flies.
with tremendous success,
With
mate,
tremendous success,
Burden
yeah.
Pigeons.
Yeah.
He really rates them highly, doesn't he?
That's right.
I think what he said about them is that they're really good one-day flying pigeons. They put it all in.
But no, the Burden Pigeons are supposed to be up to 700 miles.
Are they indeed?
But
Yeah.
they do seem to fly 500 on the day with no trouble at all. Not all of them, but they do get quite a few that come out that way. But they are pigeons that get up early. They're supposed to stick it till the last thing at night and get up early next morning.
Well, just
And
what
they do
you want
get
for the
early.
channel.
That's right.
Yeah.
They do get up early next morning.
And again, as size goes, I'd describe it as a small hen.
Yeah, it's not a big hen at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And bred good birds, Mick?
Bred very good birds, yeah.
Yeah. Right. What about the cock in the top, Mick?
This is a Saints winner, but as you can see, he's got a very dirty wattle at the moment. But I had a problem with this hen next door, and she'd wired herself. So I put one of her youngsters under there, which was in actual fact his own youngster. And he's obviously a pigeon that can count. And he just didn't like one of the youngsters. So he pecked most of its head away. And what he's actually got on his beak's blood. And here's the actual pigeon that was the only bird on the day in this town as a yearling, I might add, from 500 miles. He was 150th last year in the Sartell Young Bird National. Again, a very good pigeon. But as a young bird, after he'd been flying out about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, he went missing. And he was reported at a tropical house up at Crewe at Stapley Water Gardens by a non-fancier.
Really?
And actually reluctantly went and fetched him back. And from that moment on, he never put a foot wrong. So
Yeah. And
I don't agree with pigeons that are lost as babies that are no good. If
No.
they've got the breeding, then it'll come out if you can bring it out.
And that's the cock that won Saints this time, Mick.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't got a name for him yet, but I'm sure he'll get one next
If he
year.
wins a few more, I'm sure you'll find
Yeah.
something for him.
Try not to name him too early, because you can quite often lose him. So.
And how long did he fly at Saints this time? Was that
12 hours 40 minutes.
12 hours 40 on the day from
He was
500
about
miles.
14th fed, 7th section. He was high up in the amalgamation again, getting the 4 feds at the British High.
Had he done anything for you before Saints this time?
No, but he's been nice and steady. He flew the hard National Flying Club Nance race. He finished 78th section and won me £11.60 on the ring nomination.
Yeah.
But he didn't turn up till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They only sent the 5, and he was the last pigeon, so they turned in pretty well.
Again, he looks like the Kellen's cock,
That's
the father, and obviously a good line of pigeons.
But a different mother altogether. It's,
Yeah.
one of Barry Ford from Telford, a bit of a Des McMathis based family.
Is that right? Amos.
I want to call Amos. Here's Amos. He was 89th in that Nance race. He was only about 10 minutes behind that first pigeon in
That's
the
it.
National Flying Club.
That's in the Nance National. I think he was 8th section,
That's right.
83rd Open,
89th Open.
89th Open, 10,591 birds, Mick.
But his favourite spot is the Nance race. It appears to be anyway. Although last year he flew Sainty at Angeline in the big Midland National on the day. 15 hours 4 minutes on the wing. And he finished 189th Open.
And did he win Nance in the club?
He won Nance in the club as a yearling. But as a young bird, he went to Pickerville in the Midland National. And he finished 179th Open, which was pretty good for a young bird.
Yes.
He stuck
quite
it
stiff
out.
race again.
About an 8-hour race, and there was not a great deal of birds on the day. And then as a yearling, he come romping in from Nance. He was about 40 minutes in front of anybody else in the town, with the club pigeons as well.
And 10th Federation was it, Mick, on that day?
That's right, yeah. He,
Staffordshire Moorlands Federation.
no,
first club.
this was in the Derby Burton Fed. No, it was 2nd Federation, 1st section. He was beaten by a pigeon that was flying a lot shorter and got the advantage with the wind.
So first club, first section, 2nd Open, Derby Burton
That's
Federation.
right. High up in the amalgamation.
From Nance.
8th Open, I think it was, in the amalgamation, and 6th section.
So what's the father to him, Mick?
The father to him is a good Van der Weggen cock, the one we showed earlier.
Yeah. Cock down there, Mick.
Yeah,
One in the corner there.
again off the Andrew Vermont pigeon, which was the mother of the Amos. Well, I haven't got a name really for him, but this year he's had a lot of channel races where he came back second day, when he really should have been on the day, and a lot of people would have killed him. So I sent him to Paul,
Yeah.
and he homed on the winning day about 7 o'clock at night.
7 o'clock in the evening, so you'd got the one in the middle of the afternoon and one
That's
in the
right.
evening as well.
And he'll figure somewhere in the result. And my father had the pleasure of timing that one in, so he's actually seen one coming on the day.
How many did you actually send to Paul this time, mate?
I sent 4. I got 2 on the winning day. I got the 3rd pigeon very early on the next day. And then my 4th pigeon turned up a week later. But he was a pigeon that nighted out and messed about, so I killed him and put him in the dustbin.
Right.
No messing.
So you sent 4 pigeons, and this is the first time you've attempted
First
Paul, is that
time.
right, mate? And it's
And
663 miles.
That's right. A lot of people kept saying it's a case maybe I get them, and I was a bit apprehensive. So I didn't pull them a lot. I just expected, oh, it'd be nice to get one. And I got all 4 back, so I was pleasantly surprised. But I put it down to the beans, the heavy feeding.
Yeah, beans and the pigeons, mate, sure.
All the pigeons have got to come into it, yeah. They were fit when they went.
Michael, I know your birds at the moment are raising 1 or 2 late reds. When do you actually separate the pigeons?
Well, mainly as soon as they finish that round. I mean, they'll lay a 2nd round of eggs, and sometimes I'll take the hens, young birds and eggs away. And sometimes I won't. It depends if I feel that they've been overcrowded.
So you'll separate the cocks and the hens and put them in perhaps 2 different sections, will
That's
you?
right. For the rest of the year then, they won't see each other again until it's time for pairing up.
I see. And during the winter time, do you exercise the cocks and hens?
It's not important, but they do exercise. When the weather's nice, or when time allows.
But are they ever out together?
Never out together, no. It's too much trouble rushing around, parting them and putting them in different pens.
Yeah. So perhaps once or twice a week the cocks go out, or less than that, is it?
Probably about once a fortnight.
About once a fortnight. And the hens, is that the same, or do they go out more?
They're all roughly the same, but if there's a choice between the cocks and hens, it's a bit the hens that go out. Mainly because a lot of widowed hens try and get them out because they can find during the summer.
I see. And when they're out, do they get the bath each time?
Not every time, but a few times. It's not important. I'll quite often put the bath inside the pen if they don't go out and it's nice.
And do you ever add anything to the bath water at all?
Nothing at all, no. Straight water out the house.
And during the winter time, what do you feed them on then?
Same feed all year round. They're never broken down or put on lighter feeds like some people do in December and January.
So do you feed the tick beans all the year round?
Tick beans all year round.
Even winter time?
Even the winter time.
Nothing other than tick beans?
Nothing at all.
Not a bit of maize every now and then?
They do have other stuff mixed in, but not a great deal.
Mainly the tick beans?
Mainly the tick beans.
Well, we've got some of these tick beans that you
Yeah.
place a lot of store on to show. These are the tick beans then. So the old bird, the widowers, they get tick beans all the time?
That's right.
In the trough?
Unconventional way of flying widowers, so I'm told.
Yeah.
You don't get any widowed mixes.
And these are the best tick beans that you can buy?
But I think so, yeah, for the price. No dirty ones, bad ones, broken ones, black. Nice and clean.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll have a closer look at these beans, because these are ones that Michael feeds all the time, all the year round. Best farm tick beans. Even during the winter time, or the young bird season, his pigeons get all the tick beans.
They get them during the breeding season as well. Mostly beans. But they have other stuff mixed, but it's mostly beans.
Yeah. And what's the mixture you've got there, Mick? Is that?
This is what I mix with the beans. We have 6 parts of beans, 1 part peas and 1 part maize. 2 different sorts of maize. And it's just mixed in, and these peas are bought at the same place.
So they're the green
as the
peas and the white.
Green and white.
peas.
They're the same variety really. I think just one's ripened more than the other.
And the maize, I see you got 2 different sorts of maize there, the
Yeah.
plate maize and the dogtooth maize.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter as long as I try to get 2 types, so that there's nutrients in both. One might be lacking in the other, and the other might be.
But always best quality, mate.
Always best, yeah. It's just bought from a normal pigeon supplier, that is. No special, that maize. Obviously it's mixed up now, but that's just because we've got none separate at the moment.
So during the winter season, they get mainly the beans again,
Yeah,
with a little bit of that.
that's right. They're never broken down like some people do.
Yeah, yeah. And the young birds, they're fed mainly tick beans again,
Yeah,
and a little bit of the other
that's
mixture.
right. They have a little bit of tidbits added.
Yeah.
Just get the incentive for the first pigeons in, get the tidbits.
Alright. And during the breeding season, is it anything else other than these?
I'll buy about a bag of commercial breeding mix, but they won't have a great deal of it.
No.
I just like to feed little and often, but there's always bits left in the tray, so they're always feeding the youngsters. During the weekend they get fed about 5 or 6 times a day, but each time then they go and feed them babbies again.
So the old birds will be separated in perhaps another 3 or 4 weeks then.
That's right.
And when will they be paired up again then?
About end of February, March time.
And stock birds?
Stock birds, well, you can pair them up in January if you like. It depends how many youngsters you want to breed off them and then what's your capacity.
Yeah.
You don't want to breeding for the sake of breeding.
Do you place any purpose on breeding early young ones for national races?
I don't think it makes a lot of difference. I've spoken to lots of people who've timed them in, and some of them they're relatively babies. So I don't think it really makes any difference. It's alright if you want to breed extra pigeons from your best pigeons and pair them up early.
What about the state of the molt with early bred youngsters?
I found that with some, the molt was exactly the same, or if not retarded, and sometimes a bit more advanced. It was no different to the run-of-the-mill of the rest of the young bird team.
So the young birds that you're going to send to the young bird nationals in the next few weeks,
They've got to have last 3 flights at least, and the cover flights, and be a good, reasonably good fettle all over.
yeah. And how many races will they have had during the year?
There's about 5 or 6 at this time, but I think 5's about reasonable. You can send them to 5 with reasonable confidence. But I mean, you lose quite a lot anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but the more experience the better, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And again, the tick beans are the main factor.
Tick beans are it, yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't feed anything else.
So you think that one of your secrets, Mick, if it is a secret, is the fact that you feed tick beans all the year round?
That's right,
Plenty
yeah.
of protein.
And people who've timed one in from these long races have sent 5 and 6, and that's the only one they've timed in. I've had nearly 100% returns by the second day.
So you think that it's good pigeons, well fed,
Yeah, fit,
plenty of tick beans,
plenty of tick beans.
kept fed.
Plenty of reserves in energy then, for if they do night out like these difficult races they have to.
Yeah. Good ventilation.
That's right. And it's all about getting them back. If you get them back tomorrow, you can send them next week or whenever.
Yeah.
If you don't get them back for 2-3 weeks, that's probably it for the rest of the season for that pigeon.
Right, right. Okay, Mick, thanks very much. Mick, when you're pairing your stock birds, you said that you do pair some perhaps in December time and some in January.
Yeah.
Why do you choose a particular mate for say a cock? I mean, do you pair best to best, or line breed, or inbreed?
Well, when I've got the pigeons, I've usually got the pigeons I want. So actually go on the pedigree. If the pedigree's right, then I'll pair that one to that pigeon, regardless of what breed it is. You pay no attention to the breed.
So really it's best to best?
Best to best. And if I bring in a new pigeon, I'll try it with my best cocks to test its offspring, which usually means sending them to the young bird nationals if possible, as soon as possible.
And I think they have said earlier that your favourite sort of pairing is half brother to half sister, is that correct?
With me pairing lots of pigeons to these stock pigeons, I find I've got a lot of them, so I naturally pair them together where possible.
Yeah.
And genetically speaking, it produces the equivalent of a son and daughter.
And quite often the eggs that you get off the stock birds, you put in under the widowers to rear the young ones.
That's right, yeah. With two of the stock pigeons, there's a hen put in with them. As soon as she's laid, she's removed along with the eggs. The eggs are put under feeders. They give it a day's solitary confinement, whatever you like, and a fresh hen's put in. But during the cold months, it's usually a hen that he's been paired to before, because they pair up a lot easier, because she knows him and he knows her.
Okay, I'd just like to say thank you very much, Michael, for allowing us to film today and have an insight into your methods. Very interesting methods, in particular the feeding for the channel. I think it's a very important point. And I'd just like to congratulate you on a really good channel season in 1991 and wish you all the best for future success on the channel next year.
Yeah, thanks very much. I'd like to see you here again next year, filming another video.
Very good, thank you.
Provided I'm successful, of course.
Well, keep up the good work.